24 hours from now, thunderstorms will be breaking out in the state of Iowa. I'll use Future Track to let you know when those storms arrive in southern Wisconsin and when alert day conditions will end.
And we're live in Indianapolis with highlights and reaction for the Big Ten tournament's first round. More on the Badgers coming up soon.
And we're covering the game here on UW's campus as well. I'm Tanasia Shaw covering fan reactions here in the capital city.
That is all straight ahead tonight on News 3 Now at 6. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Eric and Sarah are off. You are taking a live look at the Beltline at Stoughton Road tonight, where a crash has blocked 2 lanes of traffic, causing a severe backup. This is on the eastbound lanes. The first calls about this came in this afternoon at around 4:15, and right now crews are cleaning up the scene, but as you can see, it is bumper-to-bumper traffic, very slow going. Stick with News 3 Now as we learn more about this crash. We'll update you here on the air and always online at channel3000.com. Our other big story tonight, of course, the weather. Beautiful springtime temperatures today, but those conditions could soon change with storms brewing on the horizon. So let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington out on the patio for a look at what's in store. Alex?
Susan, at this time tomorrow night, Radar 3000 is going to be showing thunderstorms erupting in the state of Iowa, and they will be quickly racing off towards the north and towards the east. And it's this nice weather that we're having right now. Temperatures in the 60s across much of southern Wisconsin. It's going to be in the 70s on Friday, and that's going to brew those thunderstorms. A beautiful evening quick for tonight with temperatures still staying near 50 degrees when you join us for that 10 o'clock newscast. And as you said, Susan, here we go. Alert day conditions that we've been talking about for the better part of a week. 60-mile-per-hour winds, isolated tornadoes not out of the question. This is for Friday night going into early Saturday morning. This is a nighttime severe weather potential with a high risk of strong damaging winds. Again, we can't rule out that isolated tornado, and here we go. Let's get right to it. 11 o'clock at night. Lone Rock, Mineral Point, over towards Monroe, just south and west of Madison. That leading line of thunderstorms moving in from the south and from the west, getting up to Madison right around 12. And then look how quickly they race through. This line of storms will be moving east-northeast at about 60 miles per hour. And with that damaging wind threat. Coming up in Maine weather, though, I want to discuss as the First Run Weather Team watches the ingredients get together for this likely severe weather event. What ingredient could help reduce severe weather chances, which would be a good thing? That's coming up.
All right, Alex, thank you. The Badger men's basketball team is moving on to the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament. This after beating Northwestern 70-63 earlier today. Wisconsin is looking to boost its seeding for the upcoming NCAA tournament next week. And we have team coverage tonight with highlights and reaction from today's game. Let's start with our Andrew Banstra, who is live in Indianapolis with more. Andrew?
Susan, last year the Badgers made a run in the Big Ten tournament but fell short in the championship game. This year they came to Indianapolis with a singular focus, win 4 games in 4 days and return to Madison as champions. Their win over Northwestern today got them a quarter of the way to that goal in what was a grit and grind game. The Badgers tightened the screws before the breaks, going on a 6-0 run to close the half and never looked back. John Tonje and Nolan Winter were the stars of the show, scoring 18 points apiece on their way to the win. But the Badgers didn't come here to just win one game. They came to avenge last year's loss.
We had that sore feeling off last year. We got all the way there and we didn't win it. So we're trying to do the same thing this year. Like, it's just one win at a time. It doesn't matter how it's done. We're just trying to get the win. So.
Overall, it was a good game, but we know we got a lot better in us. And obviously, when we go play better teams in UCLA tomorrow, we can't get off to a slow start or have bad stretches. So just being more consistent and playing a full 40 minutes.
As Gilmore said, it wasn't always pretty, but for the Badgers, a win is a win. Stephen Crowell told me after the game, at this point of the year, it's just survive and advance. At Gamebridge Fieldhouse, Andrew Banstruck, News 3 Sports.
Off to a good start. Best of luck to the Badgers tomorrow. Have fun in Indy, Andrew. Thank you. And we're continuing our team coverage here in Madison. Fans are celebrating today's win as the Badgers advance to the next round. Our Tanasia Shaw is live at State Street Brats downtown. Tanasia, this game ended before 4 o'clock and the party's still continuing down there. Looks like everybody's still celebrating.
Yes, Susan, you could probably say the party has just begun if you wanted to, because it keeps more and more people keep coming here to State Street Brats, and I think I know why. That's because you have the perfect combination. Great weather and a Badgers W. Earlier today, the Badgers beat Northwestern 70-63, and you're getting a look at everybody celebrating, watching the game. I got to sit down and watch the game with the fans and really talk to them. Everyone that I spoke to said the win was a no-brainer, that they seen it coming, and that they're excited to see UW advance to the next round. And I also got to talk to students who shared the same sentiments.
The Big Ten tournament's always so much fun, so securing this win is a good start for the Badgers.
Yes, we're so happy and we love watching basketball. I feel like it's the best time to come to Brats, and it's just so nice out today, so just icing on the cake.
I'm hoping for at least like a Sweet 16, maybe an Elite 8 run.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I feel like Wisconsin sports has its downsides, but I think they've got it in the bag this year. You know, at least with the Big Ten tournament, I can see them going far.
And of course, we all wish the Badgers luck on their next game tomorrow against UCLA. But you know, this is a popular spot that I'm at, State Street Brats, with a lot of fans, a lot of UW students, and I have a UW student right here. He told me that he had something that he wanted to say. So what do you want to say?
Go Badgers.
I need more energy than that.
Go Badgers. Woo!
And now everybody's cheering because that's just the energy that's here at State Street Brats right now. And we're going to keep that same energy tomorrow as we continue to cover these games. Reporting in Madison, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
Yes, we will. That was well said by him. Have fun down there, Tanasia. Thanks so much. And we will bring you continued coverage of the Badgers from Indianapolis tomorrow as they prepare for UCLA in the quarterfinals. Tip-off is set for 1:30. The winner of that game will go on to face the winner of Oregon and Michigan State in the semifinals. In other news, this Thursday, a suspect in the Westtown Mall shooting from last fall is now in custody. The 28-year-old man was arrested by U.S. Marshals in Michigan on Tuesday. Back on October 25th, Madison police responded to reports of shots fired at the mall. They say a single shot was fired inside and people involved ran out of the mall and left in a vehicle. No injuries were reported. We now know the identity of the man who was shot and killed at a Pleasant Springs gas station earlier this month. Kyle Thrasher from Janesville died outside of a BP gas station just off of I-3990. Law enforcement say they're working to identify and locate those who were involved. Anyone with information on the incident is urged to contact Madison area Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. The governor is continuing to make his pitch to the state legislature to approve his budget. That includes a significant investment in the universities of Wisconsin and the campus buildings. And that brought the governor to UW-Madison today, where he toured some campus buildings. Our political reporter Will Keneally joined him this afternoon, and Will is here now with more.
Well, Susan, any UW grad who has had classes at Humanities knows the shortcomings of that prominent brutalist facade on campus. And with $70 million in deferred maintenance, many leaders agree that it's time for that building to come down. That's where Governor Evers' pitch to the state legislature comes in.
This was a bad building back in 1970 when I was in it.
Governor Evers says he shares the pain of current UW-Madison undergrads dealing with a dilapidating humanities building. That's why the governor is making a $1.6 billion budget request of the state legislature to make building improvements to the university system.
Looking forward to a good opportunity to make the pitch here to the legislature and get this done.
That includes replacing the humanities building on campus, as well as making renovations to dorms, which the governor toured on Thursday.
It's kind of a surreal moment, just kind of like, I'm just living in a dorm on campus, just going to school here, and the governor wants to come into our room and just kind of see what it's like, so.
Back at the Capitol.
Yeah, I think clearly it's another, just like his last couple of capital budgets, where it's completely unrealistic.
Republican lawmakers at a news conference Thursday tempered expectations for what might actually pass out of the state legislature.
So we'll right-size that as we have in the past, and obviously he released it just a couple of days ago, so we're starting to work through that.
We'll work with the legislature to get as many things done. I mean, this building has to go. I mean, there's just no way we can deal with this building anymore.
Now, the other piece of this, as the governor's putting his budget together, he says some of the uncertainty in federal funding coming out of Washington is putting strain on what Wisconsin can do at the state level. Now, we'll see here the Wisconsin legislature work through that budget in the coming months.
Will, thank you. There is still more ahead tonight on News 3 Now at 6. After the break, we look back at the COVID pandemic 5 years later, as medical experts worry over the ongoing measles outbreak in the U.S.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
We are reflecting on the COVID-19 outbreak 5 years after it swept across the world and looking ahead at a current measles scare that is starting in the United States. Our Merrill Hubbard spoke with a doctor who worked to combat COVID years ago and doesn't want to see measles spread the same way.
This is one of UW Health's MedFlight helicopters, and it was used a lot during COVID-19 to pick up individuals who are declining with the disease. Now, I'm in Portage, and I'm going to hop in the chopper to reflect on COVID-19 5 years later.
It's not lost on any of us.
The past informs the present, especially in the medical field.
People's lives literally depended on our ability to make the right decisions.
Dr. Jeff Potoff is an emergency medicine physician and MedFlight doctor. He's not forgotten how challenging COVID was for his colleagues and the community.
The initial stress was immense, especially on healthcare professionals, because we didn't actually know that much about the disease. We didn't know if we were going to get sick.
Unlike COVID at the time, he says measles is well known and avoidable.
Measles is an optional disease. No one needs to get measles. The vaccine is one of our most effective vaccines that's been ever created. It's completely safe, one of the most studied vaccines.
As of March 6th of this year, a total of 222 measles cases were reported in 12 states. No cases have been reported in Wisconsin.
No measles here yet, but we're ripe for the picking.
Potoff says that Wisconsin has the second lowest measles vaccination rate in the United States. But he's going to let the past pandemic prepare him for possible challenges ahead.
My goal is to keep people safe, to treat them. Your goal is to keep your family safe and not have to undo suffering. We have the same goals, we just have to talk to get there.
Reporting in Portage, Merrill Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Merrill. Still ahead, why you should keep your eyes to the skies later tonight. Plus, the Henry Vilas Zoo has some new arrivals in Madison. We'll tell you where you'll be able to find them. And then, when can we expect to see those severe storms tomorrow? Alex has the answer in the complete forecast when we come back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Henry Vilas Zoo is welcoming 2 new Cape porcupines to Madison. Brothers Hammy and Nugget have cleared their quarantine period and can now be viewed by the public. You'll be able to find them in the children's zoo near the goat yard. Cape porcupines are the largest rodents in Africa. Make sure to look up at the sky tonight because a total lunar eclipse is on the horizon. The rare event happens when the moon passes within the darkest part of the Earth's shadow. As the moon is completely covered in Earth's shadow, it will appear to change color. Millions of people across the country will be able to witness the moon marvel beginning just before 11 o'clock our time. Timing is everything, right, Alex? And it's not going to be the greatest for us for the eclipse for the best viewing Friday night.
For tomorrow night, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think we also had a viewer that wanted to ask me a question.
I'm Ben from Oconomowoc. Hey, Alex, how's the weather?
Hey there, Ben. Nice to meet you from Oconomowoc. Look at this, April-like temperatures, and that's part of our weather story. April-like temperatures in the middle of March. That means that the potential is there, that fuel is there for dangerous weather, and we have been tracking this for a while. We're looking at alert day conditions, as Susan was alluding to. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. is that peak time frame. Widespread damaging winds of 60 miles per hour or greater in some cases. We can't rule out an isolated tornado. And during this time, even though that's when the peak lunar eclipse will be, unfortunately, the viewing is likely not going to be that good. And we don't want folks going outside when there could be lightning around and clouds afterwards as well. Here's that line of thunderstorms, 10 o'clock, stretching from Lone Rock to just west of Madison to Monroe, quickly racing towards the north and towards the east. Notice how it has a very defined line shape, and watch as we go from midnight as it approaches Madison. Look how quickly it moves and has a bit of an arc shape to it. That is what we call a bowing segment, and that is usually meaning that we're looking at strong damaging winds in the leading edge of that line of thunderstorms, following behind that cloudy conditions, and then maybe even a few showers still on Saturday, with alert day conditions continuing into Saturday for strong winds. Pretty much all of southern Wisconsin, we're under a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. So it's starting to get in the middle of that category, with a level 3, an enhanced risk, just to the south and west of the area down towards Dubuque. Main threat here, damaging winds. That is a high threat with this line of thunderstorms, although we're keeping an eye on the potential for a few brief, weak spin-up tornadoes on the leading edge of that line. Let me explain why that leading edge of that line is something that the First One Weather Team is watching, along with the ingredients through the rest of the day. And I want to underline that this is something that we hope would happen here to reduce the severe weather threat. We had a lifetime worth of severe weather events last year. We could use the rain, but what we're going to be watching is the dew point. That is talking about surface moisture. How much moisture we can get out ahead of that line will have a big impact on whether or not we're going to have that tornado threat. If dry air mixes down from higher up in the atmosphere during the afternoon on Friday, that dry air lowers the severe weather threat. It lowers the chance for widespread severe weather, which would be a good thing for southern Wisconsin. We need the rain. That rain will move through ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and we could definitely use the rain because we're going to have breezy conditions, very warm temperatures tomorrow in the mid to upper 70s, and with dry fuels out there, strong winds, we also have an elevated fire risk before that line of thunderstorms moves in to southern Wisconsin. Alert day conditions carrying on into Saturday for the strong winds after a nice St. Patrick's Day and a warm Tuesday as we head towards Wednesday of next week. First to let you know, we could be looking at rain changing to accumulating snow.
And coming up in sports, the Badgers tame the Wildcats to advance to the quarterfinals. We'll have a live report from Indy next on News 3 Now. This time of year, you want to be playing your best basketball, and the Badgers entered the Big Ten tournament on a bit of a skid, losing 3 of their final 5 regular season games. But you know what? None of that matters now. It's tournament time. Up first for Wisconsin, Northwestern. Greg Gard's squad has never lost to them in the conference tournament, and John Tonje was doing his part to extend that. Nothing but nylon on the fadeaway at the buzzer. Tonje had 18, Badgers led by 7 at the break, and it would only grow in the second half. Nolan Winter dials one up from deep. He also finished with 18 points. That triple puts Wisconsin up 11. And then it was time to close the door, so you know who to call in Mad Max Klesmet. He hits the step-back triple jack. Badgers on to the quarterfinals with a 70-63 win, and our Andrew Banster was there for it all, and he joins us live from Indy. And Andrew, safe to say Nolan Winter came to play today.
Yes, Zach, the sunny and 75-degree weather here in Indianapolis did not stop Nolan Winter's storm. You mentioned those 18 points he scored. He was unstoppable on offense and on the glass, something he credits to simply having fun.
Just kind of let the game come to me. I didn't try to force anything, but as the game kind of went on and I've seen a couple of shots go through, I was just trying to play, more aggressive, more confident, more free. It's a credit to my coaches giving me the confidence to be able to do so. So, as I saw opportunities present themselves, I went out there and just kind of put the ball on the floor knowing I can do that and just had some fun out there.
But winter in Wisconsin didn't come all the way here just to win one game. As Max Klesmet screamed to his teammates in the locker room after the game, they came to win the whole thing. At Gamebridge Fieldhouse, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
So UCLA tomorrow.
Yes.
Just keep going.
Let's keep it rolling, absolutely. Coming up on News 3 Now at 10, how federal funding cuts are affecting refugee resettlement services right here in Madison. We speak with a refugee currently separated from his family. That's coming up at 10. You'll have more of the highlights at 10, and we're watching the weather closely for tomorrow.
Yep, we'll be looking at Future Trek again for the latest projection on that line of thunderstorms likely moving through southern Wisconsin Friday night. 8 p.m. to the southwest, right around, let's say 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the Madison area till 2 a.m. and 60-mile-per-hour winds, and we can't rule out that isolated tornado threat. Nighttime severe weather means business. Take it seriously.
Yep. Thank you, Alex. And you as well, Zach. Have a good evening, everybody. See you back here tonight at 10.